Ahead of that big game, WCNC Charlotte's Ashley Stroehlein sat down with Panthers linebacker Haason Reddick. They talked about staying motivated despite the team's recent losses, how he's adjusting to Carolina, and more.
Well, obviously it's your first season with the Carolina Panthers. You've been here for a few months now, been with the team for a few months. How have you adjusted to life in the Queen City and being a part of this team?
It's been good. You know, it's a calm city. You know, not too much going on, not too much noise. I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
You reunited with head coach Matt Rule and defensive coordinator Phil Snow. A few weeks into the reunion here in the regular season, how do you feel like it's going?
It's going well. You know, it's going well to be here, be with, you know, to be on a new team, but be with a coaching staff that know what you can do. You know, that's very important, because you never want to leave a team to go into a worse situation. So to be here around a coaching staff that I know, and to meet the guys and be around these guys, you know, especially some of the Temple alum that I got to play with up in college, you know, it just feels like home.
You got to start the season 3-0. You're on fire. You hit a little bit of a rough patch recently, going 0-3 in your last 3 games. What have the conversations been like in this organization and in the locker room, and how are you guys going to correct that?
Just after watching film and having these 3 losses, you know, we saw some things that creep into our game as a team that's uncharacteristic. So we're just trying to get back to our brand of football and get back to doing our job. Each man just doing his 111th.
You head to New York this weekend and play the Giants. You had quite the game there last year, 5 sacks. I know everyone's talking about that right now, but having a game like that against that team last year, does that give you extra confidence or motivation that you can go there and do the same thing?
No, not really. You know, last year is last year, and just like I worked on my game over the off season and still through the season, I expect them to have done the same, you know, especially, you know, a lot of those guys being the same guys that was on the O-line last year. I expect them to have, you know, this week worked on things to get better, you know, that I did last year against them.
Okay, well, something else we have to talk about with you and game day are your outfits. I think you're kind of giving everybody on the team a run for their money in the style department. What goes into putting in your game day outfits together?
There's a lot that goes into it. I'm big on fashion, and I take inspiration from everywhere, you know. Before COVID, I took a couple trips out of the country just to, you know, see how people dress differently in different places, and I've taken that and put it into my style. Even, you know, being an East Coast kid and being out AZ for a while and being on the West Coast, just seeing how they dress out there and taking bits and pieces of that and putting it into my fashion as well. So I'm always thinking, always looking for exciting pieces to put on.
All right, so Haason, Paris Fashion Week 2022, making an appearance?
I'm trying. I'm definitely trying. I had a trip out there scheduled, and then COVID hit, so a little down about that. But once everything get back on track on the world, you know, I'll definitely be getting out there.
Love it. Stroh talked about all the topics.